This is the Gentle Brightening Exfoliating Powder, and I'm going to show you how to treat bumpy skin from cleansing oil and why this is so unique. Okay, so I just got done with the video on how to use a foaming cleansing oil. So my skin is I've already taken off the heavy makeup and there was sunscreen and sweat on my face. So this video is about how to treat bumpy skin after using cleansing oil. So there's 3 ways that you can possibly get bumpy skin even after using cleansing oil. So the first one is the type of oil that you're using for a cleansing oil. If you're using a heavier oil, typically it's going to be a combination of maybe capric triglyceride, which is glycerin and coconut oil, and sunflower oil. Sometimes it'll have apricot oil in it. These are better for drier skin, but because they're heavier oils, they can tend to linger on your skin, and people don't like them because it has kind of this oily residue, and they feel like their skin is still grimy. They don't get it completely off. So that would be like a heavier cleansing oil, like, this, right? Where it doesn't foam and it's oily, and even with putting water on it, some of them will emulsify and start to turn milky, and others, depending on the type of oil, it will just, their skin just, if they feel like they cannot rinse it off. Okay, so that's the first one. The first one is the type of oil. The second one is what type of cleanser that they're following it with. So if the cleanser, if you're not doing a double cleanse, you're just using the oil, like a cleansing oil, you need to do a double cleanse, because oils, especially if it's a saponified form of oil which foams, that is alkaline. Your skin is slightly acidic, so if you have dry skin, it'll feel drier, and if you have oily skin, it'll first feel like you got everything off, but over time you'll start producing more oil. So the second cleanse is actually to rebalance the skin's pH, and that could be anything from, depending on your skin type. If you have acne, you follow it with a acne cleanser. Drier skin, a moisturizing cleanser, unbalanced skin with the balancing cleanser, so on and so forth. So that's the second one. The third one is if you are exfoliating. So what I like to do, I'm going to show you some pro tip. This part here is called skin prepping or prep scrub. So the first one where you use a cleansing oil, that's a pre-cleanse. The second cleanse is a double cleanse. The third one is skin prepping, especially if this is a treatment room tip. So if you are doing a peel, or you're getting to do some more invasive type of procedure where we actually need to make sure that all the oil is gone, so you can do this and exfoliate at the same time. I like to do this because you're addressing 2 things at the same time, because you have, you're on the clock here. So you want to take the oil off and you want to exfoliate. You can do it 2 different ways, but this is the way that I like to do it. A lot of times the professional products will have a solution that you will use to take off all the extra oil after the cleanse, but this is how I like to do it. Okay, so after you cleanse, what you can do is this step is recommended for people who have sensitive skin, hyperpigmentation skin. For those of you who are professionals, you've never had this person come in, so you don't know how their skin is going to respond to that acidic peel or microdermabrasion or whatever that you're doing. So I like to use a more gentle exfoliant. So I use a powder, and this one, why I like this one is because it actually has no acids in it. So this is the Gentle Brightening Exfoliating Powder. Now I should clarify, it doesn't have the typical acids that are used in exfoliating products like glycolic acid, salicylic acid. This emphasizes more on fruit enzymes from papaya. It also has matcha, which has an antioxidant that actually helps break apart pigments, as well as L-ascorbic powder, vitamin C, and rice powder. These are all natural brightening agents, so it's more gentle to the skin. Now you can use this with certain types of cleansers. I don't want to say all cleansers because it depends on the type of cleanser and the pH of the cleanser. So at its natural state, here is the powder. So let me just, so as you can see, you see that? It's like, it's a powder, right? And you can take this, and after you do your double cleanse, you can wet it, and so the amount of water that you use, you can make it pretty concentrated. So it's like almost like a scrubby paste, you can see here. But as you keep adding water to it and you dilute it, so for those of you who have sensitive skin, if you keep adding water to it, it dissolves and it becomes less granular. And ta-da! Now it becomes like a foam. See? So it's very accommodating for the different skin types. Okay? Now, you can also, and for those of you who are treating people who have hyperpigmentation, they already have existing hyperpigmentation. People who say that they've used retinol or retin-A products, you don't want to now layer their skin with an exfoliant during skin prep treatment time with another acid, right? Because their skin is already thinner. Their epidermis, they may already be flaking. So this is something that's really good. Okay, so this part of it is the treatment. So what I'm going to do is I take a stainless steel cup and I just take this and I just sprinkle it right in here like this, right? Okay? And then you can take a brush, right? And you just add a little bit of warm water, or you can add a like a cream-based mask in here, one that's not going to set, because this also has bentonite clay in it, and that's naturally antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory. So if you've already used a cleansing oil, especially one that does not saponify, it's not saponified, it's not foaming, it's just like this greasy stuff, that actually creates more of a barrier when you're using other treatment products. So I just beat it like this, and then you can take it, see how it's like a foam? And you just spread it onto your skin like this. And this is a little bit watery, but you want it to be like almost like a paste. So this texture like this, how it's like foaming, I don't want it to spill, foaming like that. This would be more for like someone who has more sensitive skin, right? Because you're kind of diluting the exfoliating products in here. You want it to be more like a paste, especially if you're using it with a cream-based mask. And then because it still has the granules in there, you can just massage and get right up in here, because some people have the bumps right here, right? And then even down in here, you know, like your nose area where people tend to get blackheads. And then you're just gonna let it set for about 5-10 minutes. Then you can take a wet towel off, and then rinse off. And then what your skin, because it does have the bentonite clay, and you're now rinsing it off, it's absorbed any of the excess oils that you may have had from the cleansing oil, right? So let's pretend that this is dry, and you're just going to towel off so you can see the, all right? And then you rinse off. Then the next step would be for professionals, you would go into the professional part of the treatment, right? Whether it's a peel or, you know, whatever that they're doing, or a hydrating, or to increase hydration. What I tell my clients is I would actually put on a serum on their face and let it dry. And then I layer that with a treatment mask, like a sheet mask, because you don't rinse that off. So that's one of the ways that you can do that with the exfoliating powder. So this is what you would use to treat with bumpy skin. Now, those leave-on exfoliating serums that have the glycolic acid, lactic acid, and salicylic acid, that you can also use, but the thing is that you leave it on so that, you know, your skin, if it still has the oil on your skin, like you didn't fully get it off, that's how people get the bumpy skin. So because remaining oil on your skin, even though you've used the cleansing oil, if you haven't fully removed it, now what you have is more oil from the cleansing oil, your makeup, your primer, your sunscreen, dirt, and not to mention your own oil on your skin, right? So you want to get that off, and this is a very good way to do it. And it does naturally brighten your skin. So that's how you use the exfoliating powder, and that's how you treat bumpy skin when you have it from cleansing oil. Now, for those of you who have sensitive skin and breakout prone skin, or you have sensitive skin and you have pustules, how you would use this, first of all, if you have sensitive skin, breakout prone skin, the leave-on serums probably may not be ideal for you, depending on how red and splotchy your skin is and how sensitive your acne condition is. But one of the ways that you can use this is, how I just showed you in the powder, and I was massaging it. Well, if you have active pustules or very painful nodular type of acne, you're not going to be doing that. You're just going to increase circulation to the area, and you can potentially break open some pustules. So how you would use something like this is, because it's enzymatic and not acidic. So one of the issues with using an acidic based product on your face when you've got pustules or you've got healing acne lesions is they start to bleed, right? So if you use something more gentle like this, you would put it in and whip it up like this, and then spread it all over your face, and then just don't massage it, right? Because you don't want to overstimulate. Just leave it on just for a few minutes. Let the enzymes work, and then gently rinse off. So that's one of the ways that you can do it as well. And you're not introducing more acids into your skin, because chances are if you have active acne, you're already using spot treatments that have the different acids in there. So you're not layering acid after acid on top of your skin. And for those of you who have existing hyperpigmentation, and you're using other products, lightening products that do have the acids in there, at least with exfoliation, you can use this especially during the summer, because this is not as sensitizing as far as the sun is concerned as much as the glycolic acid and the salicylic acid. So after you've used the brightening exfoliating powder, your skin is nicely rinsed off and your skin feels nice and smooth. That's when you would do this is outside the treatment room for those of you who are just using it regularly. This is where you would follow up with serum, your eye product, if you're using an eye product, a toner, and a moisturizer. So that's how you would use that. So that's directions on how to use a brightening powder. I will put the link in the description below so you can actually see the ingredients in it, more information on that. And remember, makeup is an art, skincare is a science.